Boy, you crazy. Hey, look here, we gotta get started. Why is light flashing? This thing recording? No. But look here, I'm gonna start off. I ain't gonna be drinking no soda because you already know that I'm supposed to be on this health tip. So we're gonna start off probably me holding the Bible up. We're gonna start off holding the Bible up with me looking intimately into the camera. I'm gonna hold the Bible up for a little bit, but then I come down and I drink some water, and we'll start off like that, and then I start talking about the blog for the day. Hold on. You must not know. Boy, I can't get enough of this song. Beyonce was killing it. A minute, Benjamin, you'll be here in a minute. Oh, you must not nobody. You must not nobody. Boy, what if we open up with this song? I know, church folk will go crazy. Hey, but look, all right, let's go ahead and get this thing started. So remember, we're going to, let me stop this and find a more Christian-like song. I don't want church folk protesting me. But like I said, we're going to start off, me holding up the Bible. You cue me in, we start holding the Bible. We'll be playing some Christian music in the background. Come down with the Bible, and I just take a sip of water, and then I look into the camera, and that way it seems a little more natural and real when we get ready to do it. All right, well, look, let me grab my jacket so we can get started. Man, I want to wear a jacket. I don't care if we in the house. It don't matter. I want to wear a jacket. I'm going to wear a jacket. What you want? Man, you ain't never been in show business before. You just press play. That's all. That's your job. You just press play. Let me do this. I got this. I'm in charge of wardrobe, not you. All right? Just hand me the Bible. Hand me the Bible. Thank you. All right. So, got the Bible. Got the water. Can you see this? You got the focus in? Let me push this Pepsi out the way. You can't see the soda, right? Okay. All right. Let me find a song, a good Christian song. Oh no, that ain't a Christian song. What you think about that one? Think that one cool? All right, all right, let me cue it up. All right. Let me know when you're ready. Just count me down with your fingers. 4, 3, 2. Here we go. Lord, you're mighty. Glory be to God. Oh, how y'all doing today? You caught me red-handed, reading the good word, the good book, the good news. Let me stop this Christian music that's playing in the background. How y'all doing today? Welcome to blog number 10, which is entitled The Good News Blog, but in quotes I want you to think to yourself, in quotes I want to put, you never know who God is going to use to escort you to your next level. And I'm going to give y'all some awesome good news of something that I experienced. And today we're going to be happy. We're going to be happy. And if you don't know what happy is, this is what happy is. Yeah, and by the way, that wasn't me. That was my twin brother I never met. Anyway, here it is today, the Good News Blog. What I want to talk to you all about, give y'all a short story of something that happened to me. I remember when I first started my group on Facebook called Davyne's Gift to Music. It was a group that I started on Facebook, and it was a group that it was just that I wanted to have members where every day I was going to just send them an inspirational message every day. Whatever God placed on my heart every day, I was just going to just send it to them. And at that time, on Facebook, your group members that you had, you could send them all a message at one time. That means the message would go to everybody's inbox at one time. So that was the good thing about it. I could just make one message and put it in my group's inbox and just send it, and it goes to everybody in my group. So it started off with, of course, with just two members, me and my friend Ace Tintion, that actually told me about getting the group started. But anyway, the more and more I kept sending my messages out and stuff like that, more people started joining my group. So we got up to about 1,300 members, you know, of people that was getting my inspirational messages every day. It got to the point where I would get up every morning, like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I get in front of my computer, and I would just send them inspirational messages. It was like my job, my duty, my obligation, that I just did it. And it got to the point where people was just always sending, like if I didn't send one at my usual time, I would get a message from certain people, somebody saying, where's the inspirational message for today? Or sometimes people wouldn't respond at all, and then I just happen to put a message out, and then somebody said, hey, your inspirational messages, they really affect me every day. He said, they was like, I may not get a chance to respond to them, but I'm definitely listening. And that was something that let me know that, okay, that there's some people out there that are being blessed by this, because sometimes we feel like, okay, we don't see the fruits of our labor, so we feel like that we're being ineffective, but you never know what's going on behind the scenes, because a lot of people just don't want to, may not have the time, or don't even want to let you know how you're affecting them, but you're affecting them, and people are always watching. So anyway, one day, one of my messages on Facebook was, I just put up there that some churches have a problem with the new thing God is doing with gospel rap. And, you know, I put it out there that some churches just not open to it. And, you know, it was just a comment that I had made. And this lady, she responded to my message, you know, and I knew right offhand that she was not on my side, but she was just basically like, well, we cannot forget the roots of what gospel music is, and that's very important. And she was going on and on to let me know that she was probably one of the ones that wasn't too excited about gospel rap. So me and her went back and forth, you know, real Christian-like. I didn't say anything out the way to her. I just spoke candid about how I feel, and she spoke candid about how she felt. So at the end of the day, you know, fleshly, of course, I was a little upset because of the fact that somebody was not agreeing with me, the flesh side of me. But the bigger picture of everything is that everybody is not going to agree with everything that you say. When we finished messaging each other, I went about my business. So later on, when I came back in the house, I had a message in my inbox. So I looked at the messages. It was a message from that woman saying that, hey, give her a call if I get a chance. The same woman that had disagreed with me on Facebook. So I'm like, you know, first thing I'm saying to myself is, I'm not calling this woman. That's what the flesh said. But the God in me allowed me to go into my pocket and get my cell phone, and I called her right then. Because I was kind of curious to know why this woman would want me to call her. So when I called her, she told me that she had an opportunity for me to come and do a show in Virginia where she lives. So I was like, I said, you know, I do, you know, gospel rap is what I told her. She said, yeah, I know what you do. And so I was like, I was a little confused because she was kind of like going against me on Facebook, but yet still she said she had an opportunity for me. So I was still open to it. So I asked her to tell me about the event. She told me it's an event that her and some people was throwing up there, and she would like for me to come up there and be the headline of this gospel explosion she was doing in Virginia. I was like, wow. I was like, okay, well. And then she asked me what did I charge, to come up there and bless the people. And at that time I was, fresh into the gospel world. I didn't have a whole album at the time. I might have had about 6 songs, and I wasn't comfortable with charging people at the time. So I just told her, I said, hey, if you can just get me there, then just allow me to sell my single, which was Pray For Me at the time. And I said, you allow me to sell my single and you can get me there, that's good enough for me. And she was like, oh, no. We going to sow a seed. There's no way we have you come this far without, taking care of you. Then she went on to tell me that she said your messages every day just inspire me so much. And I said, excuse me? She said, yeah. I said, how do you know about my messages? She said, well, I'm a member of your group, Davyne's Gifted Music. And I'm like, what? And then I was like, she said, yeah, I know today, she said, I don't want you to think that I was, going against what you were saying today. But she said, because I definitely understand that we got to reach people any way that we can reach them through gospel rap or whatever we got to do. But I just was making a point that we got to remember the basis from which gospel music originated. And she said, I was just basically just voicing my opinion, but I am definitely open to gospel music. She said, I've heard some of your music that you posted on Facebook, and they're really good. So I was shocked, and that, I was shocked. So she told me that this woman went on to say this to me, and at this time, I had only been saved probably about 7, maybe 8 months at the most. So this woman tells me, she said, I'm trying to get where you are at in Christ. I was like, excuse me? She said, I'm just trying to get where you are. She said, you're just so inspiring and so dedicated to what you're doing. So when she said this, I knew right then that this woman thought that I was in some type of special place that she is not. So I went on to tell her, I said, one thing I want everybody to understand about me is that life is real for me just like it is for anybody else. And I serve the same God that T.D. Jakes serves. And any other of these big preachers around here serve. I serve the same God. And because I serve that same God, that does not exempt me from anything going on in life. So I said, while I'm sending you all those inspirational messages day after day, I said, me and my wife have been facing eviction for the last 6 months. And you could hear a pin drop on the phone, and she was like, what? I said, yes, for the last 6 months, me and my wife have been facing eviction. Every month we face an eviction, and somehow, some way, God works it out where we come up with the money at the nick of time. And I said, matter of fact, because I remember when I called this woman, it was on a Saturday. And I remember the day before, I said, matter of fact, I got a letter on my door yesterday telling me and my wife that we have to pay $1,500 by Tuesday or we're going to have to move. And the lady was like, she just was in her awe. She said she couldn't believe it with all of the inspirational posters that I post on Facebook. She had no idea. And I was like, I said, hey, if I had to give God's words based on my feelings and my conditions, then y'all would never hear from me. But I have to put all that stuff aside and just do God's work. Even though when I don't feel like it, even when I'm crying, sad, happy, it doesn't matter. However it is, I have to do it. So she was just blown away by that. So she was like, well, she had already agreed that, we both came to agreement about me coming to do the show. And she said that they was going to give me a love offering, and she was going to figure out a way to get me up there. So we was fine with that. And she told me, okay, well, we talked about the contract and everything. So she said that she was going to mail it to me or whatever, and then we'll go from there. So after I got off the phone with her that Saturday, I was like, wow. I said, me and this woman was going back and forth on Facebook, and look now, I got a show in Virginia. So I was happy with that. So when that Monday came, she called me, and she was like, asked me what was I doing that day. I said, well, I'm pretty much be at home, but right now I'm getting ready to take my wife to work. And she said, okay, well, good. She said, well, I got the contracts here, and I want to mail them out to you. She said, what's your address? So I gave her my address, and then she said, so you say you about to take your wife to work, and then you come in, then you going back home after that? I was like, yeah. She said, okay, well, on your way to after you drop your wife off, on your way back home, I want you to go by Western Union because I just wired you $1,500. See how quiet he was just now? That's how quiet I was on the phone. I was like, what? She said, yeah. She said, I can't have a man of God out on the streets. And I think, matter of fact, at the time I needed $1,400, and she wired me $1,500. She said, I sent you an extra $100 for some gas. Now, mind you, I don't know this woman, never met her before until that Saturday when she sent them messages to me. I never knew that she was a member of my group, and that's why I told you in the beginning that you never know who is watching, who is paying attention, and whose lives you are affecting. So I don't know why it was laid on my heart to tell this woman my personal situation, because you already know most people don't like people to know their personal bad situation. You want everybody to think that we got everything in order, like life is just great for us, and God's favor is all over us. Yes, God's favor may be over you, but that still ain't going to stop you from hitting that brick wall. So when this woman told me that, I told my wife just looked at me like, what? I went by and got the money. Me and my wife, we paid it. So at that time, when me and her was communicating with each other, I was on a real raggedy computer because my computer was destroyed from the accident that I was in, because it was in a truck with me, but somehow or another I used to prop it up and make it work. So she called me, I think 2 days later, and she called me on that Thursday, I remember. I was in Best Buy walking around looking for some computers for a new laptop. You know, I wasn't going to buy one, but I just wanted to see how much it cost so I could figure out how I was going to make it happen. So when she called me, I asked her, I said, hey, can I call you back, because I'm in Best Buy right now, and I'm trying to look for me a laptop. She said, oh, you going to finally get you a new one? I said, well, I don't know about it. She said, well, I told her, I said, well, I ain't going to get one today. I'm just looking. She said, okay, call me back. So I was in there for a while. I think I was in there for about an hour and a half, just walking around looking at different stuff. She ended up calling me back, and she said, are you still? She said, have you left yet? I said, no, I'm still in here looking. She said, did you find the one that you want? I said, well, I seen several in here that I wanted, but I just ain't got the money to get it. And I really was trying to get off the phone with her because I had to make a call. She said, hey. She said, before you get off the phone, she said, go get the laptop you want and take it to the register. I said, what? She said, get the laptop you want and take it to the register, and let me speak to the cashier or whatever. So I was like, all right. So I went and got the one that I wanted. I went to the cashier and gave her the phone, and this lady paid $1,100 for a laptop for me over the phone. Now, she had already sent me $1,500. She turned around and paid another $1,100. So that makes it $2,600 I have gotten from this woman in less than a week of me knowing her. I met her on a Saturday. That Monday, she wired me $1,500. That Thursday, she wired me she paid for the laptop, which is $1,100. That's on that Thursday. So when my wife got off from work, it was actually our anniversary that day. So when my wife got off from work, I had done went and got the laptop wrapped up, and I gave it to my wife for our anniversary because she wanted a laptop but didn't have one. So I continued to use my raggedy one, and I gave the brand new one to my wife. And not only that, when I left Best Buy, I was on the phone with her. She told me to go by Western Union again, and she wired me $300 because she knew it was me and my wife's anniversary. She wanted us to go out and have a good time. So here it is. Met this lady on a Saturday. First through a disagreement through Facebook. She sent me a message to call her. I could have been ego tripping and arrogant and all of the above, and not call this woman back and be mad because she ain't on my side. But I chose the high road and I called her. And not only that, I got a show that I have to do in Virginia. And then that Monday, she turns around and wires me for $1,500 and keeps me and my wife from being evicted. Turn around on that Thursday and pay for me a laptop over the phone for $1,100, and then wire me another $300 for me and my family. That's $2,900 I got from this woman, and I just met on Facebook on that Saturday. $2,900, and that's not even all. That's not even all. The next month, when it was time to do the show, her and her son drove all the way down from Virginia, picked me up from my house, drove me to Virginia. I stayed at a house, had my own room, had my own TV, and my own remote, and did the show, stayed with her family. They treat me like royalty, and when it's time to come back, her and her son drove me from Virginia all the way back to my house. Now I'm saying to myself, this woman, not only did she keep me and my wife from being evicted, but she also strengthened my marriage, because me and my wife both were able to see the works of God right before our eyes. Because, we didn't know this woman. We had no idea none of this stuff was going to happen. And this woman just out of nowhere just blessed us in a way that only God could do. So it strengthened me and my wife both. It strengthened our faith in God, and it also just just solidified that what God was doing with me. And from that, we are eternally grateful. We are eternally grateful. So I'm saying to everybody out there, you never know. Treat everybody with respect. Even if they not being respectful to you, treat everybody with respect. Because you never know who God is going to use to escort you to your next level. I hope you all had a good time today. You already know it's your boy Davyne. Check me out at www.davynedancler.com. Get my book, my CD, everything. Thank you all for checking in. Watch this video. Share it with people. Let's keep God's kingdom moving. Love you all. God bless. You already know. Deuces.